So, rained out of casual employment today and not wanting to do the politics or the homeless thing. Horse herd hierarchy. Hollywood would have us believe that the stallion runs the horse herd. This is not so. The stallion will fight. He will defend his harem from predation and rivals. He'll fight to the bitter end. He is the man in that herd until advancing years deprive him of that position. But the herd is led by the smartest mare, and the hierarchy of the horse herd goes down by intelligence. This is kind of a hard thing to notice sometimes. Little background here, if you just came into it. My dad bought and sold horses and ponies. We had 60 acres. He did it not for any monetary gain. He just loved the beautiful equine species. The intelligence of a horse has often been compared to that of the dog. And I don't disagree with that. I've had several dogs and I grew up with the horses. But it's been to my finding that the horse's intelligence level is far more diverse than that of the dogs. So, back to the horse herd hierarchy. I don't know how, I have no idea how they decide who's the smartest, and they know their pecking order. It's very little contention. On our farm, there'd be 25, might be 22, there might be 30 horses and ponies. They came and went. Sometimes a horse or a pony would stay and change owners. Sometimes a horse or a pony would leave and return again. So our herd was led by a little tiny black shaggy Shetland pony, Old Lady we called her. Just a tiny little Shetland pony, and they are, as a rule, very, very gentle and very intelligent. Now, again, as much as the horse and pony is interchangeable in terminology, as much as their intelligence varies, so does their temperament. Old Lady was as gentle as a lamb. You could have tied babies in diapers to her and she would have stood there and starved to death. She'd have never moved. But I never saw a horse contend her leadership, ever. The biggest, baddest, nastiest with temperament of horses we had never challenged her. If she turned and showed her teeth to the worst, biggest nag you could imagine, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. No, 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 no." Now, it was interesting. I'm kind of coming to the point here. When a new arrival showed up, the horse herd would be interested in this. They're prey animals and they want more numbers. This is instinctive to them. So they anticipate, well, they greet, I should say, quite eagerly a new arrival. So the new arrival comes in, it's checked out, inspected, if you will, and then turned loose. So, assuming it's a horse that isn't returning and no one in the herd knows that horse, it's a cold new arrival, the lowest ranking animals will approach it like, because I need a friend because I'm dumb and the herd shuns me, I'm pushed down to the bottom. Somehow or another, the new arrival kind of walks through the herd knowing, let's say it's going to, for example, come into about the number 12th position out of 30. Okay, so everybody kind of in around there, like, okay, yeah, we're good with that, yeah, okay. And then they kind of, they do their nose nickering greeting thing and whatnot, and everybody kind of quiets down. Now, there's a bit of a fuss with the pecking order, especially if it's in the winter where I'm throwing out You know, my job as a kid, I'd take hay bales out and throw them slices over the fence because I can't even pick up a entire hay bale. In their morning eagerness to be fed, because they just free-ranged and lived they sheltered in a loafing barn that they could come and go from. In their morning eagerness, there might be a little confusion as to who's where in the pecking order, and somebody might go, hey, oh, sorry, you know, there might be a display of teeth, or maybe even a haunch shown and a quick hoof comes out. But once the hierarchy is established, it remains that way. There's no contention until someone else comes along again. Oh, this little Shetland, again, I never saw a lady ever, if something in the morning feed thing, somebody in a lower position who wasn't next or within 2 or 3 of hers came within her space, she was just like, oh, and the other guy was like, no, sorry ma'am, sorry. How they establish that, I could never figure, and I've never read or seen anyone talk really about that intelligence hierarchy. It's really quite fascinating. And I'll summate the story with, we had a little pony who was there for the longest time, and she had changed hands. She was a fat little pony, heavy built. She had some Welsh pony in her at some point in time. She was the dimmest pony I've ever seen. I never saw my mother ever curse, but it's a different story what was happening here. But we were all watching this pony one time with its interplay with the herd. Again, it's a separate story. And my mother said, oh, that poor damn dim snowflake. Well, Snowflake was forevermore referred to as a damn dim snowflake. This little pony was stupid. Just plain stupid. I never saw it show any glimmer of intelligence at all, really. Some of the horses can be so smart that they're actually annoying. They can display a sense of humor, jealousy. Again, their intelligence range I find to be far more than that of the canines. Poor Snowflake was on the bottom of the pack, and whenever a new arrival came, Snowflake would be the first one, like, I need a friend. And they'd just go, yeah, okay, not you. And they'd go settle wherever they were, be it 20th or 12th in the herd. I never saw Snowflake. She didn't seem to enjoy anything. You could curry her or brush her. She just kind of stood there. You give her a sugar cube, she'd be like, no, sugar cube. Some bran. Horses love bran. Maybe they have better treats nowadays. I don't know, but... oh, sugar cube, yeah. Poor damn dim Snowflake. Bottom of the pack. In the winter, if there were 30 horses, I'd throw out 32 piles of hay over the fence. Because Snowflake, even the second bottom in the herd hierarchy, would look at her and go, you can't eat beside me. Snowflake would have to go walk all the way around, go up to the other end, where Lady, the leader of the herd, would look at her. Snowflake would snatch some hay, walk down to the other end. If I dragged a slice of hay out across the barnyard to leave Snowflake to eat, there'd be some horse stand there and look at her chewing away on the hay and go, no, can't have that. They'd go chase Snowflake away. Somehow, despite all this, she managed to gain weight. She was a fat little thing. I know, the video's going on and on. I'm talking for my own amusement. So anyways, Dad would say to me, because the Snowflake got sold and resold, part of the reason for that, the biggest reason, was whoever bought her would get no satisfaction from this poor pony. It showed no joy. It just was the flattest thing you'd ever imagine. And it had a gait that was brutal. Didn't matter if it was trotting, cantering, or what Snowflake referred to as a gallop, which really wasn't. It was brutal in the saddle. It was just, oh. So the poor thing never bonded with a human either, right? It had no one. Poor damn dim Snowflake. But yeah, the Hollywood portrayal, no, it's based on intelligence in a way I don't think we can quite fathom.